Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon on this Thursday afternoon. Welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are standing alongside the Polderbaan today. Currently the only runway in use for landings. It is a bit windy, but not as windy as it was on Monday. Roshan, good afternoon. Gosse, goedemiddag, good afternoon. I did a little purchase yesterday, and I now have a phone holder that I attached, that I can have my cell phone right in front of me when I'm operating the camera, which means I can look at the live chat and at flight radar while not having to turn around and go back to my laptop. Hopefully this will improve the user experience for you guys. So, we are standing alongside Polderbaan. Hey Sanne, good afternoon, goedemiddag. Currently wind is blowing from the south. These airplanes are landing in southern direction. Last time I checked it was blowing approximately 17 to 19 knots. From 170 degrees, so basically more or less from the south. So all planes landing today are facing mostly headwind. Definitely not as stormy as it was on Monday, but you can probably hear it, the wind is still blowing. What we saw land just now was an Embraer 175 from KLM, flight 1994, coming in from Krakow in Poland. That was a 5-year-old airplane delivered in July 2017. Coming in next, let me turn around the camera for you guys. There she is. Coming in next, Lufthansa flight 2304, coming in from Munich. It's an A320neo, 4 years old, delivered in September 2018. After that will come a Boeing 737-800 from KLM, coming in from London Heathrow. Hey there Laura, good afternoon, good to see you again, hope you're doing well. At the moment it is overcast. We are not having any precipitation anymore. We had in the morning some rain that has now left the country. I do believe that tonight we are expecting new precipitation, although I don't know exactly how much it's going to be. Now, while it isn't as warm as it was on Monday, when it was almost 15 degrees centigrade, at the moment it is approximately 10-11 degrees centigrade, or just around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Carlos Rivera, good afternoon, good to see you. Me, myself, good afternoon. Hi man. Sia Cargo 747 outbound and expected in 15 minutes. Good to know. We'll be waiting for it. The first queen of the day. Singapore Airlines cargo. Awesome. So the plane we are seeing land right now, KLM 1010, coming in from London Heathrow. You can see the windmills in the distance. They are spinning. It is a bit windy, although for us perhaps not as exciting, because the wind is blowing directly from the south, more or less. So the pilots are now facing headwind only, mostly. The vast majority of the wind is just headwind. Now at the moment, runway 18 right, the Polderbaan is the only runway in use for landings. Two runways in use for departures, runway 24, runway 18 left. Hey there, photo for you. Hey there, Peter van der Eyck. Goedemiddag, good afternoon you guys. Good to see you all. Nice that everybody is tuning in again for another afternoon of polderbound arrivals. So, I'm now working with my phone on a phone holder that is connected to the pen handle of my tripod, which means that I can very easily look at both the chat and flight radar without me having to go back to my laptop as I had been doing up to today, greatly improving my ergonomics and hopefully also your user experience. We are now waiting for the next plane to arrive. If I look at flight radar, the next plane is going to be an EasyJet A319 coming in from Liverpool, flight 27007. It is a 16-year-old airplane delivered in October 2006 after having flown 46 minutes as we are speaking. Let me zoom out a little bit. I can also see that there's an A320 from Swiss coming this way. We have a 737-800 coming in from Vienna, and I can also see the Singapore Airlines cargo 747, the first queen of the day, coming in from Sharjah. It is a 19-year-old aircraft delivered in August 2003. Now, in the distance, just about visible because of its landing lights, is the A319 from EasyJet. Expected to land in a few minutes. Roshan, no A380 departure today. Well, is that so? I'm guessing it will be departing, or has it been cancelled? The downside is I'm not going to shoot it, unfortunately, because with the prevailing wind at the moment, polderbound will only be used for landings, and I expect that will remain so for the rest of the afternoon. However, we did see the A380 last Monday on a somewhat unusual approach to runway 24, where they landed, or I should say, yeah, 24. I'm always confused, is it 06, is it 24, but it was in the configuration 24, westbound, landing from the east to the west on the Kaagbaan, something you don't see every day, and if they do land that way, you typically see them follow the glide slope for runway 27 and then make a last minute left turn. So I think the A320 from Swiss is most likely going to be number 2. That is now almost over the industrial complex of Tata Steel, which is along the coast in the vicinity of Beverwijk. Number 3 most likely going to be KLM flight 1846 coming in from Vienna, Austria. And Roshan, yeah, indeed, on the live stream. No, unfortunately not today. I was looking to come a little bit earlier, but I was waiting for the parcel delivery guy to bring my smartphone holder. And they were expecting to deliver the package around the end of the morning, so I headed out this way a little later than I had originally hoped I would be, but we are in time for the inbound traffic that is going to land this afternoon. I'm just also monitoring a little bit Last Monday my tripod was shaking so violently in the wind despite having fastened it with tent wires and herrings that I also had to turn on image stabilization on my camera in order to get a somewhat decent footage. I also noticed when I came home and went through the stream and also the chat, because I missed a lot of you guys chatting to me and to each other, I noticed that the bitrate was a little bit low. I don't know why. I hope that today things are better again. I'm also checking if maybe I should put on image stabilization today or not. So far it seems to be alright. What I am going to do is just tighten the panning on my tripod a little bit, make it a little bit more resistant. Hopefully that makes it smoother. Yorkshire Biker, good afternoon to you, sir. Welcome back. A photo for you informing us that the A380 is planned for 2:30 local time. Probably going to be delayed. Absolutely likely. But we can only, even if it does take off, we can only see just the silhouette from the distance, from where we are standing at the moment. Now you can see in the water in the foreground, things are waving. It is a bit windy, it's not cold. I can even see a few patches of blue sky further out towards Amsterdam. I thought they said that it was also going to get a little bit more sunny later during the afternoon, so who knows, hopefully it will. Temperature wise it's at least better than it was in the previous couple of weeks when it was much colder. So number one to arrive is Swiss flight 728. That's an A320 coming in from Zurich after an hour and 10 minutes of flight. The airplane is 1 year old, delivered in March 2021, and behind it is KLM flight 1846 coming in from Vienna, Austria after 1.5 hours of flight. A Boeing 737-800 that is 22 years old and was delivered in May 2000. And now almost turning final in the area of Castricum and Heemskerk is Singapore Airlines cargo flight 7396 Boeing 747-400, the first queen of the day. Beautiful airplanes, these A320s. I think so far Swiss and Air Baltic are the only two operators that fly with the aircraft to Schiphol. If there are any other operators, please let me know. In the east of the Netherlands it's already sunny. That's good to hear, Sanne. Hopefully it also gets sunny here in the west. I see the most patches of blue sky when I look to the east, so then inward it's definitely better in terms of sun hours at the moment than it is here along the coast. Hopefully it will change. Only 2 more weeks, then we'll also go back to summertime. The clock will go an hour forward. The evenings we'll get an hour longer sunlight. So the Boeing 737-800 from KLM coming in from Vienna. Now let me turn around the camera, because far away in the distance, just about becoming visible, is the first queen of the day, There she is, just left of center. Photo for you informing us that tomorrow there are only a few 747s on the program. 6! That's very promising. Is that for the morning or the afternoon? So, first queen of the day, ladies and gentlemen, Singapore Airlines flight 7396 coming in from Sharjah. After 7 hours and 15 minutes of flight, this airplane, 19 years old, was delivered in August 2003. Let me grab this moment to take a sip of coffee from my thermos before it gets cold. Around the day, photo for you says, okay, I am looking to go live stream tomorrow, but I don't know exactly when it's going to be. I like going in the mornings. If I can, I will. It's also weather dependent. If there's rain predicted for the morning, then I'll wait until it gets drier. I'm definitely looking to go out there again tomorrow. Don't know what the winds are going to be tomorrow, by the way, but probably won't change that much yet. There she is. Oh, and I see that the image is a little shaky. I will put on image stabilization after this plane has landed. See if that makes a difference. Probably will. Never grows old. James Daly, hi there. Hi there to you. Inverness, hope things are well over there. Here, everything is alright. A bit windy, a bit overcast still. But it could have been worse. Hey Kuni, good afternoon, good to see you again. Welcome to the stream. So the 747 making its way back to the cargo area of the main platform area. Still 10-15 minutes of taxi from over there. Okay, buffering issues. Let me have a look at my router then. Yeah, my router is working fine. Don't know what might be causing it. From this end, everything looks to be working normally. I will turn on image stabilization to see if maybe that makes following a bit better. So that was an SAS flight CRJ9 coming in from Copenhagen, Denmark. Flight 547. The airplane, 6 years old, delivered in June 2016. We are waiting for the next plane to arrive, which is most likely going to be an Embraer 175 from KLM. That is coming in from Bordeaux, France. So are you guys still experiencing buffering issues at the moment, or have things normalized again? No problems at Kuni Linux. Okay, good to hear. I was checking everything, and yeah, my wireless router was still connected. You are in the middle of a field over here, so there are moments, and I think the same happened last Monday when the bitrate also was a bit low, that sometimes the Wi-Fi signal is a bit poor. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of other people around here, so not a lot of interference in that respect. Roshan asking if hopefully I will get the A380 tomorrow. Well, if I am going to stream at the moment it's going to land, and I'm also standing along the runway used for landings, I will definitely capture it, of course. Michael Noah saying it's fine again. Okay, good to hear. Turn says no. Okay. Yorkshire Biker also confirming it's working okay. So coming up next, I don't see it yet, but it is. Oh yeah, I think I do see it. It doesn't have its lights on yet. Now can I also see it on my screen? Yeah, just in the middle. Still too far away. Also need some land in the shot, otherwise my camera will lose focus. So coming up next is KLM flight 1316, an Embraer 175 coming in from Bordeaux after a flight of 1 hour and 16 minutes. The airplane 5 years old, delivered in February 2018. Let's see what's coming after that. I think it's an Embraer 190 from Air France coming in from Marseille. Air France Hop. Simone D, guten Tag. Hoffentlich geht alles gut da in Deutschland. Herzlich willkommen. Let me see if I can zoom in. Seems to be working, okay. Still some minor vibrations despite having the image stabilizer on. Maybe I should try another setting. It did make a big difference last Monday in reducing the vibrations. Ah, wunderbar, Simone, wunderbar. Also a lot of German speaking people finding this stream. Our friendly neighbors. Now, despite the fact that the pilots are facing mostly headwind, you do see that they are having to work somewhat. In the end, no issues putting it down safely. So that was one of KLM's many Embraers. Let me see if I can already see the next airplane. I cannot yet. Let's have a look at flight radar. So yeah, the next plane coming in is Air France flight 1820 from Air France Hop. Embraer 190 coming in from Marseille. 16 years old, 1.5 hours of flight. And after that, most likely an Embraer 175 from KLM coming in from Venice, Italy. Also 1.5 hours of flight, KLM flight 1654. And that is a 5-year-old Embraer. Hey there, Rick. Goedemiddag. Good afternoon, my friend. Good to see you again. Still not exactly in focus by the looks of it. Rick saying, good to see your live stream again, boy. It's very good to be here again. you tuned in just later. I was already telling in the beginning of the stream that I purchased a telephone mount, so I have now my cell phone connected to my tripod, which means that I can interact with you guys better, because I can also look at my screen on the telephone for the chat and also flight radar without having to turn around and go back to my laptop as I had to do before. So this is Air France Hop coming in from Marseille after 1.5 hours of flight. And for those of you tuning in later, welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boyd. We are standing alongside the Polderbaan, or runway 18 right, which is currently the only runway in use for landings. Prevailing wind is blowing from the south. These airplanes are landing into the headwind at the moment. Hardly any crosswind. Fortunately, it's not blowing as hard as it was last Monday. Pilots have it somewhat easier. But as we are turning the camera into the wind, you will probably hear the wind pick up on microphone. It is overcast, although I did see, and still in the distance I do see still a few patches of blue sky between the clouds. Temperature wise, just in the low double digits, 11 degrees centigrade or so, so just over 50 Fahrenheit I think that is. Gerard Staphorst, goedemiddag, good afternoon, tuning in from Meppel. Welcome to the stream. And thank you for the kind words, Yorkshire Biker. It does make working from home a bit distracting. It distracts from the live streams. So the other Embraer already touching down. It's the Embraer coming in from Venice from KLM and turning around the camera back towards the end of the runway, just about visible. Let me see if I can also, let me see on the laptop, can you guys see? It's still very far away in the distance. The next plane coming in, KLM flight 1254, and a Boeing 737-800 coming in from Nice, France. 3 years old, delivered in April 2019, and this airplane has flown 1 hour and 34 minutes at the moment. Sid Fisher, good afternoon, good morning I should say. Ontario, Canada, that's 6-7 hours time difference. Still early morning over there probably. Julian Schoop, hoi hoi. Fahad Ali, goedemiddag. Willem Lenteren, goedemiddag. Hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome to the stream on this Thursday afternoon. I hope you guys are still seeing the stream properly. There were some mentions of buffer issues earlier. So let's have a look at flight radar and zoom out a little bit. There is a heavy just about to enter the country from Groningen onwards. That is a 777 from China Cargo Airlines, inbound from Shanghai. For now, it is still mostly narrow body short haul airplanes that form the majority of the traffic, but I'm sure that more heavies are underway. And a nice gentle touchdown of the 737 there. Awesome to see so many viewers from so many different places tuning in. I think it is a 7-hour time difference, Willem. At least 6, but probably 7. And Julian tuning in from Curaçao, and Dreamcatcher from Bali. Awesome. Yorkshire biker, multitasking the proper way, a dual monitor setup, one for work and one for AMS Live. That is very awesome. 9:22 p.m. there where Dreamcatcher is in Bali. So you guys are already done for the day. Rick Meester, also the master of dual monitor multitasking. Good to see so many productive people. Photo for you informing us that there's another Queen underway in 3 hours, so that is 5:30. Let's see, the next plane coming in, by the way, is Egypt Air Flight 757 in the 85 years livery. Coming in from Cairo, Boeing 737-800. Has been airborne now for 4.5 hours. The airplane is 6 years old, delivered in January 2017. Folks, if you're new to the channel and you're liking what you're seeing, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. It allows you to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live you receive a heads up and can join us if you have the time and are feeling like it. It also helps me to reach more people like you and me who also like content like this. So this is Egypt Air, inbound from Cairo, just touching down, and it should be in a special 85-year livery. So let's have a look and see what's different. So far it looks like a regular livery. Oh, it's on the tail, yeah. I was looking, but it's a very subtle special livery, if you can call it that. But still. Not as different from the regular livery as the Manchester City from not Etihad, or was it Etihad? Was it Etihad? It was one of the carriers from the Emirates, the United Emirates. I think it was Etihad, Dreamliner, in the Manchester City livery. Could see it land in the distance on runway 22 last Monday. Bright blue. John O'May, goedemiddag, good afternoon. And Joshua Leclerc, also good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to AMS Live. So we are standing alongside the Polderbaan runway 18 right. Currently the only runway. Is it still the only runway? Let me also check the app. Can switch between apps so much quicker now. Yeah, it's still the only runway in use. So at the moment 18 right is in use for landings as the only runway, with wind blowing from the south at the moment. 2 runways in use for departures. Kaagbaan in the configuration runway 24 to the southwest, and to the south 18 left the Aalsmeerbaan. Next plane to arrive is going to be KLM flight 1272. That's a KLM City Hopper Embraer 190 coming in from Wrocław in Poland after a flight of 1 hour and almost 20 minutes. The airplane, 9 years old, delivered in January 2014. And I'm zooming out a little further to see what's coming from all different directions. Can also see that there is a 777 coming in from Lima from KLM, flying just east of London. We also have a whole slew of airplanes over Germany and France at the moment. Also some heavies further out. Still a lot of traffic coming this way, and if it's all going to land only on runway 18 right, it's going to get busy. I'm thinking maybe they will also open runway 27 as a secondary runway, but I'm not sure. You will be faced with crosswind and just a little bit of tailwind then, so not ideal. 18 left. The Aalsmeerbaan only used for departures as far as I know, because of the noise abatement regulations. 18 center and 36 center, that runway is still closed for maintenance. As you guys may already know, I've said it before a few times, major maintenance should be finished around April, but in the Netherlands everything always gets delayed. So, and Rick confirming it was indeed the Dreamliner from Etihad. So good afternoon, Ina. Good to see you. Welcome back. We are waiting for the next plane, and that is going to be a 737 from Sun Express, flight 944, coming in from Izmir, Turkey. It's a 737-800. Has been airborne now for 3 hours and 23 minutes. The airplane is 9 years old. It was delivered in February 2014. after that it's going to be an E2 Embraer 195 from KLM that is coming in from Naples, Italy. And Rick mentions that Etihad also maybe, if he isn't mistaken, has a Greenliner. That would be very interesting to capture one day if it is also flying on the Netherlands. Sounds very visually appealing. Well, depending on the color of green, of course, but Photo for You mentions still 3 weeks before 18 Center opens again. Is that certain yet, or are they maybe going to have some delay, as is so common with everything construction related over here in the Netherlands? Robbie Batista, hello, welcome to the stream, good to see you, hope you're doing well. I think I see the 747 that Photo for You is referring to, now flying just over the south tip of Sweden on its way to Denmark. Expected to arrive in an hour or so. So first we will see the 737-800 and the E2 Embraer 195. Laura asking what happened earlier when the stream was going on and off again. I have absolutely no idea, Laura. I was checking when I saw you guys mentioning it. The only thing that I could think of was either maybe a connector loose, but I checked and everything seems to be in order. The other thing that I can think of is bad Wi-Fi reception. Because I use a wireless router to basically transmit my video and audio feed to YouTube, but reception on my wireless router was normal, not low, so I have absolutely no idea. I didn't change anything, at least in the meantime, but you guys keep letting me know in the chat if something appears to be wrong in terms of sound or the video. I'm happy to hear, Laura, that things are now okay. Hopefully, fingers crossed that it will stay that way. So up next, KLM flight 1588 coming in from Naples, Italy. It's an E2 Embraer 195, has been airborne now for 2 hours and 26 minutes. The airplane is brand spanking new, was delivered January this year, so it's still in the first couple of flights. Well, no, if they can use it, they do several legs a day, of course, but still less than 3 months old. So now we have to wait a bit for the next plane to arrive. Kuni absolutely right. The Embraer did not have the 10,000 kilometer service yet. Now probably will very soon though, but it probably still smells like a new car, unless of course somebody has been really sick in it because of turbulence. Gerard asking what the witte bobbel, the white bump on the airplane, is just before the backwind. Is it radar? I think those bumps on the top of the fuselage that you see these days on these airplanes is indeed for providing onboard Wi-Fi and stuff. Not sure though, but Roy confirming indeed, yeah. Thought I read that somewhere. I am trying to still find the most optimal setting for panning left and right. I increased the drag setting in the beginning. Now I'm back to the middle setting as I have been before, looking to see what is the most optimal to provide the most smooth result. So that was me just making sure it initiated the right drag setting. You need to initiate it by turning left and right a little. So the next plane to arrive, and it's just about visible in the distance. Yeah, also for you guys, is an A319 from EasyJet, flight 27922. It's an A319 that is coming in from Copenhagen after an hour and 3 minutes of flight. The airplane, 12 years old, delivered in September 2010. The airplane still has a long way to taxi. They still have to go around runway 18 center 36 center, which is still closed for maintenance, and they also are not able to shortcut the runway as they normally would be able to. Meanwhile, just becoming visible in the distance is the next plane. Let me also see. Hopefully you guys can see it too. Still hard for me to see when these planes are far away on my 3-inch camera screen. If you guys can also already make it out. Having a peek at my laptop screen, and you are able to see it just about. It is KLM flight 1274. It's an Embraer 175 coming in from Poznan, which is in Poland. The airplane has been airborne now for 1 hour and 24 minutes. The airplane is 6 years old and it was delivered in May 2016. We are expecting another Embraer to follow it, an Embraer 190 coming in from London City by British Airways, BA City Flyer, and number 3 looks to be a 777 freighter from China Cargo Airlines that is coming in from Shanghai after 11 hours and 10 minutes of flight. First, 2 Embraers, one from KLM, one from BA after that, and then a triple. Now if you guys just tuned in, welcome to the stream, welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing alongside runway 18 right, the Polderbaan, the only runway at the moment in use for landings. These airplanes are landing in southern direction. Wind is blowing from the south, so the pilots are faced with mostly headwind in this direction. The wind blowing between 17 and 19 knots approximately. Last time I checked, temperature in the low double digits centigrade as I accidentally bumped into my tripod leg. Or around 50 degrees Fahrenheit if that's what you're used to. It's overcast. Although, if I zoom out a little bit, I'm now facing south with the camera. It does seem to open up further in the distance, so hopefully we might see a ray of sunshine later in the afternoon. No precipitation has been forecasted for today. Harry Rouser, good morning from Ontario, Canada. Also tuning in from Ontario. Lovely. And Stephen saying that the sun has already been shining in Rotterdam for about an hour. Well, the wind is blowing from the south, so I am hoping then that the sunshine will also come this way. So we see 2 planes at the moment. First one is the Embraer 190 from British Airways coming in from London City. That is an 11-year-old plane, was delivered in August 2011, and behind it is China Cargo Airlines flight 205 coming in from Shanghai. It's a 777 freighter after a flight of 11 hours and just under 15 minutes. The airplane, the 777, 13 years old, delivered in March 2010. turn back the camera towards the 777 coming in from Shanghai. Steven, do the winglets of KLM Embraers look different than the from BA then? There is a difference in the angle and size between the Embraer 190 and the 175. The 175s are bigger and are more outward and less vertical. But honestly, I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. Wendy, goedemiddag, good afternoon, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So, turning back the camera towards the north where the inbound traffic is coming from today. The next plane that is going to arrive is going to be another Embraer 190 from KLM. It's going to be flight 1346 inbound from Billund in Denmark. After a flight of almost 55 minutes, the airplane is 9 years old and was delivered in December 2013. Behind it, another Embraer from KLM, another 190 coming in from Oslo. This one in the SkyTeam livery. KLM flight 1144 has been flying now for almost 1.5 hours, and the airplane is 10 years old, was delivered in April 2012. Martin, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to AMS Live on this somewhat windy Thursday afternoon. Michael Janssen, good day to you. How are things in Leer, Germany? Martin, I'm doing fine. It is a lot better doable in terms of the wind here today than it was last Monday when I had to hold everything down almost to prevent from being blown away. Makes talking also a little easier for me, so I'm doing very well. You guys can see If I zoom out, hopefully you guys can see as well. 3 planes in the distance. The first one is the Embraer 190 coming in from Oslo from KLM, and after that are 2 737s also from KLM coming in from Warsaw and from Porto respectively. First, this Embraer in the SkyTeam livery. Little squeakiness in the brakes, as we hear so often with these Embraers. We have another bird trying to find its way in the water. Also, metal birds underway. The first one over here, KLM flight 1364, Boeing 737-700 coming in from Warsaw, Poland, and the airplane is 14 years old, delivered in March 2009. James 1, good afternoon, hi to you, welcome, hope you're doing well, mate. The 737 vacating over here at the first exit. Nia, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream, new to the channel. A warm welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy and this is the Polderbaan. You can see we have more traffic underway. The first plane coming in is a 737 from KLM coming in from Porto, Portugal. That is 14 years old, delivered in April 2008. After that is going to be another 737-800 from KLM coming in from Budapest, 22 years old, delivered in July 2000. And after that an Airbus A319. Now folks, if you're liking what you're seeing, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. It allows you to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live you receive a heads up and can join us if you are feeling like it and have the time for it. It also helps me to reach more people like you and me who also like content like this. So, coming next, the 737-800 coming in from Budapest, and following it is going to be British Airways flight 438 coming in from London Heathrow, A319 that is 22 years old, and number 3 looks to be a 777 from KLM. The details of which I'm going to give you after this plane has passed me by. Hope the video quality is still proper, and also the sound quality. We have had some issues some people have had issues earlier with the stream buffering and being on and off in the air. So next up, A319 from British Airways Flight 431, coming in from London Heathrow, 22 years old, delivered in July 2000. And after that, number 2 at the moment, KLM Flight 744, a Boeing 777-300ER, coming in from Lima and has been airborne now for 11 hours and 10 minutes or so. The airplane, 10 years old, delivered in June 2012. Stream is doing 100% for you, Wendy. Good to hear. Just checking in every now and then, making sure that we don't have any issues. Meanwhile, from the left, from the right, one of the Schiphol scarecrows passing us by. The BA exiting right away. Not a moment too soon, because the 777 is already in the area. You can see in the distance the sun is starting to come out. In fact, as I'm saying this, the sun is also getting out over here. Slowly but surely things are opening up a little bit. Here's the 777-ER from KLM coming in from Lima, ready to touch down. Magnificent. Roomboter landing, says Wendy. The original butter, not margarine, nothing fake. The real butter made from dairy cream. Or raw milk, I should say. So, coming next, a flight from Vueling, flight 8302 coming in from Barcelona. It's an A320-200, airborne for 1 hour and 15 minutes. The airplane, 6 years old, delivered in November 2016. Stephen informing us that there's also a LATAM Cargo 767 inbound number 7 at the moment. Thank you so much for updating us, Stephen. So you guys heard it, don't go away, more heavies are underway. Stephen also telling us that the third in line now is KLM flight 257, which is a Dreamliner that is coming in from Mexico. More and more heavies are underway. Let me have a look. 787 from Mexico. Oh, I see that runway 27 is now also open for business. That is unfortunate. LATAM Cargo also coming this way. There's also an A300 from Madrid inbound from DHL, now flying in just over the Rotterdam harbor area. That is also making its way over here. K4 photo bombing our shot. I'm also hearing another tractor passing by behind me. It has happened several times before during other streams. First time today, but they're still working on things here in the vicinity. Aero Mexico also underway. I'm being informed by Julian. Thank you so much for keeping us updated. So first we see the 737. Let me zoom in again. That is a flight from Transavia. Coming in from Funchal, Madeira. Transavia 6630. A 23-year-old bird. Delivered in May 1999. This one. Quickly back to where the airplanes are coming from, the north. Because up next is KLM flight 686, a 787-9 Dreamliner coming in from Mexico City after 9 hours and 37 minutes of flight. This airplane, 6 years old, delivered in April 2016. Still remarkable to see when those spoilers go up, how the curvature of the wings changes suddenly. Now we see two planes with their lights on already in the distance. The first one being KLM flight 1304 coming in from Toulouse, France. After 1.5 hours of flight, it is a 737-700 that is 12 years old, delivered in February 2011. Behind it another 737, this time an 800 from Transavia flight 6886 coming in from Reykjavik in Iceland. 2 hours and 45 minutes of flight. The airplane 5 years old, delivered in April 2017. It is the baby 737. Quickly vacating the runway, making space for the next plane. Which is visible over here. Roy, was nice having you around. Hope to see you soon. Take care, man. Julian, wish you all the best. Has the flu. Now number 2 is LATAM Cargo flight 1504, Boeing 767-300 ER coming in from Miami, Florida. First, a Transavia. (737-800). Now for those of you tuning in later, then welcome to the stream first of all. Welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy. This, the pulled around runway 18 right. One of the two runways I use for landing. Wind is blowing from the south. These airplanes are landing in southern direction, are facing almost straight on headwind with hardly any crosswind. The wind is not calm, also not a full-blown storm, 17 to 19 knots, coming from 170 degrees, so almost directly from the south. It has been overcast throughout the day. Things are opening up a little bit at the moment. Still mostly clouded. At the moment, temperature is in the low double digits for Celsius, which is roughly 50 or so Fahrenheit. Earlier today, this was the only runway in use for landings. Now runway 27 appears to also be in use. So here is the LATAM Cargo 767-300 ER. It is 14 years old, delivered in May 2008. After a flight of 8 hours and 48 minutes, now touching down on Dutch soil. Pilots realizing how long they have to taxi still. Putting the pedal on the metal. Also make sure to vacate the runway in time for the next traffic. So there are 3 planes visible already because they have their landing lights on. So you can see visibility is quite well despite the clouds. First plane coming in is an Embraer 190 coming in from Birmingham. It's KLM flight 1426, airborne now for 48 minutes. The airplane 11 years old, delivered in January 2012. And behind it is the Dreamliner from Aeromexico, and behind it is an A319 from EasyJet coming in from London Luton. Chris, good afternoon, good to see you. Stephen, good afternoon, good to see you too. It's great to see you guys again. Chris now in Austria. Make sure, Chris, to come back during the summer. Makes plane spotting over here much more enjoyable when you can grab a cold beer and watch some planes here in the grass. At the moment I think I'm the only one standing here in the grass. Of course it's a normal working day, so not as crowded as during the weekends regardless, but come here during the summer, even on weekdays, always people either purposefully to watch some planes or to do some exercise, cycling, walking, jogging. So the next plane, Aeromexico, Dreamliner. Let me try to zoom in on it. There it is, magnificent. So this is Aeromexico flight 25. It's a Boeing 7879 Dreamliner coming in from Mexico City. A flight of 9 hours and 36 minutes. This airplane, 6 years old, delivered in March 2017. Folks, if you're liking what you're seeing, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. It allows you to turn on notifications, and it helps me to reach more people like you and me who also like content like this. Hearing some noise, some quacking. I think it's this gentleman that was making the noise. Doing some exercise, swimming upstream. And here's the other bird I think we saw earlier already. There are a few more further up. And also the next plane. So this is an A319 from EasyJet coming in from London Luton. This airplane is 14 years old, delivered in December 2008. Behind it is the A300 from DHL, inbound from Madrid. But first, the EasyJet A319. Julian also mentioning that the Orange Pride is coming to Curaçao tomorrow. Does anybody know where it is at the moment? Is it still in the Netherlands or is it somewhere else working and transporting people? Does anybody know, by the way, I was wondering that not too long ago. Are there more Orange Pride aircraft or is it just the PHBVA, if I'm not mistaken, if I recall correctly? Is it just one or do we have several Orange Pride aircraft flying around? So here is an A300 from DHL. It's coming in from Madrid, Spain. The aircraft 31 years old. It was delivered in August 1991. Yellow Canary. Steven and Julian and Rick confirming that there's only one Orange Pride. So that is the PHBVA, if I recall correctly. Hey Rick, is it your birthday today? Congratulations, buddy. You got a scale model of the Orange Pride. Awesome. Meanwhile, a rather loud Boeing 737 from KLM landed just now. I'm also looking to see receiving saying that there's a 737 going around from runway 27, so I'm trying to see if I can capture it, but I don't see it anywhere. Okay, so let me focus on what I can see then. That would be this 737. 737-800 from Transavia. Coming in from Seville in Spain. Almost 2.5 hours in the air. 12 years old. Delivered in April 2010. Next plane, also creeping closer and closer. Will be KLM flight 1416. It's a 737-800 coming in from Lyon, France, and it is 22 years old, delivered in August 2000. So Rick, can you also fly the model that you have gotten from the Orange Pride? Is it an RC model, or is it just to look at model? Alright, let's look at what's coming next. One of the shortest flights that are flying on Schiphol that aren't relocation flights. It is KLM flight 1726 coming in from Brussels in Belgium. It's an Embraer 175. The airplane is now airborne for 28 minutes. And it is 7 years old, delivered in March 2016. I can also see in the meantime an A330 from Turkish, and behind it a Boeing 747-400. Hopefully those two will come over here and not go to runway 27. meantime, if I zoom out, you guys can see it more clearly. Camera is now pointing towards the southeast. You can see sunny weather is coming this way, but it's not yet here, unfortunately, but it is underway. We can see the blue sky now behind me. Let me quickly have a look at the app that shows the current runway usage. Yeah, 27 is still open for landings, unfortunately, which makes me a little anxious about being able to see the A330 and the 747. Oh. Don't throw the model out the window, Rick. If it's a display model, then just look at it. There are some great movies, some great videos on YouTube. You guys probably have come across it before already. From RC model planes operated by people on the ground, radio controlled. Some even several meters big. A380s, Concords, fighter jets, Apache helicopters, the works. There are also FPV model airplanes which have a camera on board, and through goggles you can see what the camera is seeing, so you can fly the airplane radio controlled but have the same point of view as you would when you were flying an aircraft yourself. Also, even some of them are even so advanced that if you turn your head to the left, then the camera inside the airplane will also turn to the left, so that you can see what it is that you would see if you would be inside and would turn around your head. It's really insane how what they think of next. It's really awesome to see. If you guys are unfamiliar with it, I think if you Google FPV RC airplane, you will probably come across some of the movies I'm referring to. In the meantime, another Transavia 737 touches down over here. So you can hear my voice is not back to normal just yet 100%. Still the last remnants from the cold I had last week. Next plane to come in is an Embraer 190 from KLM. It's KLM flight 1960, an Embraer 190 coming in from Zurich in Switzerland. After an hour and 5 minutes of flight, the airplane, 9 years old, delivered in November 2013. Hopefully the video and the sound are still okay. Some people did experience some hiccups earlier during the stream. Meanwhile, we also saw the next plane turning final onto the glide slope in the background. Traffic is still coming this way, even though there are now 2 runways in use for landings. But I'm fearful about the 747. We have seen one Queen before, earlier in the stream. And a lot of narrow bodies such as this Embraer. Would be nice to see a second Queen, but if 27 is still open at the moment, and a few minutes ago it still was. I'm seeing that both the A330 from Turkish and the 747 are inbound for runway 27. That is unfortunate. Next plane coming in over here is KLM flight 1702. It is a 737-800 coming in from Madrid, Spain. The airplane, 11 years old, was delivered in May 2011. Paul Usher, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you again. And all other viewers who have meanwhile joined us, welcome as well. Welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is the Polderbaan, runway 18 right. Currently one of the 2 runways in use for landings. These airplanes land in southern direction. Wind is blowing from the south, 170 degrees. So pilots are facing mostly headwind. Temperature wise, it is in the low double digits in centigrade, so around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It has been overcast, but if I look in the direction of the wind, we see blue sky. It is coming, but it hasn't arrived just yet. Although Steven mentioned that where he is living more to the south, the sun was already out. But I'm not jealous. Rick confirming that the quality of the stream is excellent. Very good. Glad to hear that. Rod Martinez from Southern California. Hello to you. And Plane Videography, hi to you too. Hope you guys are doing well. Good morning to Rod, where it is still early morning. Southern California, I think that is a 9-hour time difference with the Netherlands, or is it 8? Didn't you guys go to summertime already during the last weekend? I think it's probably 8 hours now, or is it 10? Does it increase or does it decrease? Always confusing, going from summertime to wintertime and vice versa. 7:38 a.m. here, so it's 3:38 p.m. here. That makes 8 hours time difference. So you guys are now an hour ahead. Yeah, of course, the clock goes forward, so you're an hour ahead. So 8 hours instead of 9. Now that I think about it, it's logical. Yeah, Rod, we go forward 1 hour as well. Only we will go forward not the coming weekend, but the weekend after that. The last weekend of the month is when we will be going to summertime over here in Europe. So this Embraer 190 from KLM is coming in from Edinburgh after an hour-long flight. 13 years old, delivered in June 2009. I've been out here for the afternoon. I was planning initially on going sooner, but as I was mentioning earlier during the stream, yesterday I ordered a mount for my phone, which I can now attach to the panhandle of my tripod, which I have attached in the meantime to my panhandle. So as I'm standing behind the camera, I'm also able to look at the screen of my smartphone, which enables me to interact with you better than I was able to before, because I can have the chat on my screen in my browser, plus I can also look at flight radar while being behind the camera without having to walk away over to my laptop, which is next to me. Hopefully improving your user experience as a viewer, and it also is better for my ergonomics, not having to bend down to watch the laptop as often. This plane is a KLM Embraer 175. It's coming in from Glasgow in Scotland. The airplane 5 years old, delivered in November 2017. And it was airborne for 1 hour and 7 minutes. Probably going to vacate the runway over here where the first exit is. And it is doing that right now. First exit is over here. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the layout of Schiphol, this is the runway that is furthest removed from the main platform area. It's called the Polderbaan, runway 18 right or 36 left. The newest addition to the runway network of Schiphol. So far removed from the main platform area that it has a dedicated ATC control tower. Also a dedicated fire station, visible here. Now the original platform area of Schiphol is further out. Planes landing over here still have 15 to 20 minutes of taxi ahead of them, particularly now that runway 3818 center 36 center is still closed for maintenance. What you see over here is the main control tower. Now you can see it's quite far away from where we are standing, and if I zoom out you can see both towers in one shot. As a 737 from KLM has just landed. So that's why this runway has its dedicated ATC control tower, because it's so far out. You wouldn't be able to see all the things going on here properly from the original control tower over at the main platform area. The next airplane that we see approach is KLM flight 936. It is a 737-800. As a scooter passes me by on the cycling path over to the left of me, you will see it appear in a few moments. The airplane is coming in from Dublin, Ireland, has been airborne now for just over an hour. The airplane is 15 years old. It was delivered in December 2007. Now let me also check the app for the actual runway usage at the moment, and I can see that 27 is still open for landings as a secondary runway. Now this runway, the Polderbaan and runway 0624, the Kaagbaan, those are the two preferential runways of Schiphol. they are almost always open, unless the weather is really exceptional, as was the case last Monday when it was storming. If you guys missed it, I was there for 4.5 hours. Make sure you check that stream. Put in earplugs because the noise of the wind was terrible. I get asked a lot in chat when streaming if I use a muff on my microphone, and I do. In the community section of my channel page, you can see a picture that I posted 2 weeks or so ago when I had bought my new tripod. The configuration that you see on the picture is also what I always use when I'm out here. So I always have a muff on my shotgun mic that is on my camera. I also have a little muff on the lavalier mic that I use for voiceover. So now we have to wait a little bit for the next plane to arrive. US Air Force vet asking if it's not as windy as Monday. I can confirm that it is at the moment blowing 17 to 19 knots. On Monday it was 30 plus knots with gusts up to 50 knots. The wind direction has also changed. It's now blowing from the south, 170 degrees, and it was southwest on Monday. And Tom, I can confirm that they are also landing on runway 27 as well. They have opened it for landings as the inbound traffic picked up. I'm expecting that once it slows down a bit, they will only leave this runway open for landings today. So Cyberphoto informing us that Qatar Cargo 777 is coming soon. Hopefully it will land on this runway and not on 27 if it's coming from the Middle East. Stephen informing us that Aer Lingus in the Irish Rugby team livery is first to arrive. So let's have a look and see. It is Aer Lingus Shamrock flight 608 coming in from Dublin, Ireland. No, that's not correct, or is it? Let me have a look. According to... That's strange. Okay, let me reopen Flight Radar. When I opened the flight, it showed me a picture of a 737 from KLM, which is not correct. Yeah. It was a hiccup in the app. Now it shows me the same, the Irish Rugby team livery. Aer Lingus, flight 604, coming in from Dublin, Ireland, on A320 200. Airborne now for an hour. The airplane is 18 years old. It was delivered in January 2005, and it's a special livery from the Irish Rugby team. So looking forward to see that. After that is going to be KLM flight 1076, a 737-800 coming in from Manchester. 43 minutes of flight. The airplane, 23 years old, delivered in April 1999. While we still have a moment, let me grab a sip of water. Nicholas and Marcelo, by the way, good afternoon. a lot of chats. I think I overlooked your two. Simranjit also joining us. Good day to you. Welcome to AMS Live. So next up, an A320 from Aer Lingus coming in from Dublin in the Irish rugby team livery. An 18-year-old aircraft delivered in January 2005. Now, I personally know nothing of football or soccer, whatever you want to call it, so I didn't recognize these three characters. Maybe you guys did, but it was a nice livery to look at, that's for sure. Dennis Lindroos, good afternoon. I was about to say goedemiddag, but you are from Sweden, wasn't it? The name sounds Dutch, but... Oh, sorry. This was rugby, yeah. Now, rugby also not really a sport I know a lot of. Nice speed landing from the KLM 737, hardly reducing the speed at all. I think it might even overtake the Aer Lingus. So I think the Qatar 777 is going to be next, or is it going to be the Embraer 175? The Embraer is already low. I think it's going to cut short and do a short circuit to land. I'm already looking to my left to see if I can pick it up. I think I do. Let me see if I can also... where did I see it? Oh yeah, it's in the vicinity of the radio tower. Yep, got it. So this is the Embraer 175. From KLM, coming in from Genoa in Italy. It's been airborne now for 1.5 hours. The airplane 5 years old. delivered in May 2017. Going to go ahead and land before the 777 from Qatar, which is coming in from Chicago. And you can also see the 777 further out, also making its way to the glide slope. Lovely to see them both in one shot, so close by. A conjunction, as was the case with, what was it, Venus and Jupiter not too long ago. Also, when it was cloudless in the evening sky, at least here in the Netherlands, you could see them brightly shining next to each other. DVH B27 checking in from Rancho Cucamonga, California. Goedemorgen, good morning. Welcome to AMS Live, my friend. Another early riser checking in from California, where it's 8 hours earlier than it is over here in the Netherlands. So two planes visible now in the foreground, the Embraer 175 from KLM coming in from Genoa. Behind it, 777 freighter from Qatar coming in from Chicago. No, Peter. Normally it would be 9 hours, but in the United States last weekend they already went to summertime, so the clock went ahead 1 hour. So instead of 9 hours time difference, which it normally would be, it is 8 hours now for 2 weeks until during the last weekend of this month we also go to summertime, and then it's 9 hours again. United States and Europe don't switch to summertime and wintertime simultaneously. There's always 1 or 2 weeks difference in between for whatever reason. Don't be sorry. Normally, what is it? 48 weeks of the year, you would be you would be completely right. So you're 95% right. More than 95%. Right, well, Embraer 175s, we've seen them a lot before. We've seen them today, we've seen them during earlier streams, so I'm just going to go back with the camera to the 777 that is approaching, as the vast majority of traffic has been narrow bodies. What is it with those squeaky brakes? Those Embraers and squeaky brakes? Mohammed Amirudin, I hope I pronounced that correctly. And also Kakhra Seth, good afternoon and welcome to the stream. Welcome to AMS Live. Folks, if you're new to the channel and you're liking what you're seeing, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. It allows you to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live in the future, you receive a heads up, and if you have the time and are feeling like it, you can join us. It also helps me to reach more people like you and me who also like content like this. the world of aviation enthusiasts is very big, and we've only just begun to reach them all. So your subscription really helps to feed the algorithm. I hate saying it, but I always feel a little bit of food that is coming up when I say it, but it is how the world works. Endless Aviation from Greece, welcome, greetings to you. Hope the weather is well over there, and hope you're doing fine in beautiful Greece. Surprised to see that when those 777s have flaps full, if you look at the inner part that is directly connected to the fuselage, or closest to the fuselage I should say, the bottom part, it's almost down vertical. You don't see that with other aircraft types. If you compare the flaps when they are full out, with the Dreamliner for instance, you don't see them like so. And also the old 747-400s, when they have flaps out full, it's still less really remarkable if you compare it with the other airplane types. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the layout of Schiphol, this is a runway that is furthest removed from the main platform area. So the airplanes, when they are where they are, where this 777 is right now, they still have 10-15 minutes of taxi at least. And now with the runway in the middle still closed for maintenance, runway 18 center, 36 center, they have to go around it, makes for an even longer taxi, although not so much for the cargo airplanes, because they need to go to the south part of the platform area regardless. They don't have to go up again to the north part of the main platform area along the Buitenvelderbaan, runway 2709. Those airplanes have to go around the runway and then back up again. Meanwhile, another Embraer from KLM just landed. Something we've seen a lot of times before already. Shona and Steve, greetings from Chelsea, Quebec. Greetings to you back from the Netherlands. Hope things are well in your part of the world over there in Canada. And glad to read that I said it right, Mohammed. I will stick to Mo then. That is much much easier. So there's once again buffering issues according to Steve, and also Sim John Reed is also having difficulties hearing me properly. Let me see what I can see on my router. It's been on and off, and I also noticed last Monday that on occasion the bitrate dropped. I hope I think it is. It's probably Wi-Fi related. I have 2 bars of reception over here with my wireless router. Speed should not be an issue, but I'm thinking reception might be. I am over here in the field. Let me check. Is the microphone connected properly? Seems to be so. All right. Well, are you guys still having sound and or video issues, or was it only a temporary thing? Is it back to normal again? Snowing over there in Quebec. Well, it is officially still winter, isn't it? But it would be nice if summer came quickly. I can imagine that particularly up there in Canada, you guys can also look forward to when it's not snowing. You guys probably have a lot more snow than we do over here. Okay, so I got several confirmations that things are back to normal again in terms of sound and video quality. Okay, glad to hear that. Yeah, I will have to write a complaint letter to Schiphol that they should, or no, not Schiphol, but KPN and all the other mobile network providers, that they should have more radio reception masts over here at Schiphol, so that me and Bart and all the other people who live stream from Schiphol can also provide better image quality, more stable. I think it's a Wi-Fi issue. All the connectors from the camera and from the microphone seem to be in order. So here's another Embraer, one of the many that we've seen before already. This one, German Airways. As I was checking everything, I didn't have time to look at the details of this aircraft. Let me do that in hindsight. It was an Embraer 190 coming in from Düsseldorf. It was a 16-year-old plane delivered in January 2007. There is an A319 from Lufthansa now coming this way, so let me turn around the camera for you guys so you guys can see. Just about becoming visible. The airplane that we see in the distance is Lufthansa flight 2306. It is an A319-100 coming in from Munich in the south of Germany after a flight of 1 hour and currently 12 minutes. The airplane, 18 years old, delivered in February 2005. Let me also see if 27 is still open, and it still seems to be open, so there is still 2 runways open. There are still 2 runways open for arrivals, and runway 24 the only runway for departures. Doug Watson from Vancouver, Canada. Good morning to you. Welcome to the stream. Everything looks good. Okay, I'm glad that several people have now confirmed that it was apparently only a temporary hiccup. Shona and Steve have 30 to 40 centimeters of snow still on the ground. Holy cow. Well, here in the Netherlands, we are not used to seeing snow that much anymore these days. We still regularly have some snow precipitation in the winter, but typically with our proximity to the sea, unless you're really land inward towards the German border, it usually melts within a day. So several centimeters of snow. We did have a few days last winter, I think it was, or 2 winters ago. We always have a few days when it freezes, consecutive nights, and you can also sometimes skate on the water over here, natural water, not the ice rinks, but used to be more back in the day. In that sense, there does seem to be some global warming issues in it if you look at our winters. Simranjit has very rainy weather in Sacramento, also not ideal. So a few more planes are coming this way. It's not exactly back to back at the moment. The first airplane to come this way, already visible in the distance, is Vueling flight 8341. It is an A320 coming in from Gran Canaria. Departed 3 hours and 41 minutes ago. It is 13 years old, delivered in May 2009, and most likely number 2 will be Royal Air Maroc flight 850 coming in from Casablanca in Maroc, of course. Boeing 737-800. It's been airborne now for 2 hours and 47 minutes, and it is 16 years old, delivered in May 2006. Now let me use the moment that we have to zoom out a little, see what is coming further out. There's a 777 from Emirates Sky Cargo, also coming in from Chicago. That is looking to come this way. More narrow bodies. Let me zoom out further. There's also another 747 now flying over the south tip of Sweden, coming this way. Suparna Airlines. Don't know if by then maybe runway 27 will close again. Closer by, over in Germany, in the vicinity of Dortmund by the looks of it, is also a 747-400 from Martinair Cargo. Yeah, but it's coming in from the east, so unless they close runway 27 in the meantime, we will most likely not going to see it land, because it's more logical for planes coming in from the east to land on the westbound runway. So fingers crossed that in the meantime they will close runway 27 again and make this the only runway for landings, as was in the beginning of the stream the case. I see talk in the chat about nice cold beers. Count me in, fellas. That sounds very good. Mo is asking, why do planes from the south come in and land on 18 right? I have come in on the first Emirates flight, the 380, many years ago, and we landed not the furthest runway southwards. Well, there are 3 north-south oriented runways at Schiphol. 18 left, center and right, and 36 left, right and center. This runway can be used for both departing to the north and for landing to the south. The other 2 runways, one of them is now closed for maintenance and cannot be used. Otherwise, normally you would see parallel landings if it gets busy and wind is blowing from the south. The middle of the 3 runways is now closed for maintenance and is expected to remain closed for a few more weeks now. So that runway cannot be used for landings at the moment. The other remaining runway, that is the Aalsmeerbaan, that is 18 left, I think is not allowed to be used for landings and only for departures to the south. I think it's not allowed. I've never seen that happen. I always see it being used for departures to the south or for landings to the north. I think it has to do with the noise abatement regulations over here. So in this case, with wind blowing from the south, you would expect a runway that is facing the south to be used, and this one is. But if it gets busy, they cannot use any of the 2 other runways, and in that case they use runway 27 as a secondary runway, even though when you're landing there you're facing crosswind. I think it has to do with the noise abatement rules. Why not land on runway 27? Yeah, good question. It is Schiphol. It is always a mystery what goes on in the heads of the people who decide where airplanes are going to land at. We've seen it before that they go to other runways that then would be logical. Now the next plane that is coming this way is an an Airbus A319 from British Airways, flight 446, coming in from London Heathrow after a 36-minute flight. The airplane, 21 years old, delivered in May 2001. Yanis from Greece, good day to you. Welcome to the stream, good to see you. All other viewers who have meanwhile joined us, welcome guys. Welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing alongside the Polderbaan runway 18 right, currently one of the 2 runways in use for landing. It's not back-to-back action anymore, as was the case earlier. But there are still several planes coming this way. Let me see if runway 27 is still open. Well, according to the website, the app I'm using that displays the current runway usage, it seems that runway 27 has now closed again, which means that this runway is the only runway open for landings. That's good news, because if I look at flight radar in the east of the Netherlands, I can see a Turkish A320-900 coming this way. So it would be nice to see that, and I think that it also means that the Boeing 747-400 from Martinair Cargo will also be coming this way. So that will be the second queen of today. So even though at the moment it is still quiet, things are looking to pick up very soon. The first heavy to arrive after the A319 from British Airways, now becoming visible in the distance, will be Emirates Sky Cargo flight 9988, a 777 freighter coming in from Chicago. It's now 7 hours and 23 minutes underway, and it is a 9-year-old aircraft delivered in October 2013. Hey Daniel, good afternoon, good to see you again. Welcome back. So there are 2 747-400s now underway to the Polderbaan. Martinair Cargo and Suparna also coming closer and closer. After this A319, we will first see a 777. Simranjit asked for me showing you guys departing planes. Well, you can hear them, but there really isn't a lot to see from over here. Although maybe if you look on a big screen you see more than I do from my 3-inch camera screen over here. Visibility is good, you can see them quite far away in the distance already. Now I am going to turn around the camera back to the north because the 777 is now flying towards the glide slope and is also visible in the distance. It's only hard for me to see if you guys can see as well. I think there it is, yeah. Still far out. Mo, was nice seeing you. Hope to catch you again at a later stream. Thanks for joining us. So this is Emirates Sky Cargo 9988 coming in from Chicago. Boeing 777 freighter. Airborne now for 7.5 hours. The airplane 9 years old, delivered in October 2013. Simranjeet, thank you so much for joining us. Hope to see you again at the next one. I see that the image is still somewhat shaky. Let me change the mode of image stabilization, see if that makes a difference. Of course it first needs to focus again on the airplane. So there's a slew of aircraft now approaching from the east. among which an A350 and a Martinair 747. Traffic is picking up, and on top of that, runway 18 right is once again the only runway in use for arrivals. Here Emirates Sky Cargo 777 just landing, coming in from Chicago. Let's turn around the camera. The first of the next batch of airplanes is approaching. This is EasyJet flight 2333, an A319 coming in from Venice, Italy. It is 14 years old, delivered in December 2008, and it is airborne now for 1 hour and 40 minutes. Number 2 will be an A350-900 from Turkish flight 1953, coming in from Istanbul, Turkey. A flight of 2 hours and 50 minutes so far. The airplane is brand new, according to Flight Radar, delivered in April 2022. And you can see it in the distance coming towards the glide slope as we speak. Now folks, if you're new to the channel and you're liking what you're seeing, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. It allows you to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live, you guys can receive an update and can join us if you have the time and are feeling like it. It also helps me reach more people like you and me who also like content like this. So next up, EasyJet A319 coming in from Venice, Italy. 1 hour and 41 minutes of flight. The airplane 14 years old, delivered in December 2008. And another moped passing me by just now on the cycling path that I'm standing next to. little bit of banking back and forth on a solid landing. If you tuned in later, then let me give you an update. This is the Polderbound runway 18 right, currently the only runway in use for landings. The wind is blowing from the south, not as hard as it was doing last Monday when it was really storming, but still decent enough to cause waves on the water. Wind is blowing from 170 degrees or so, so pilots who land in southern direction at the moment are facing mostly headwind, hardly any crosswind. The sun is not out yet, but the sky is showing more and more blue patches. It is opening up. We have had overcast weather throughout the afternoon, but now it's opening up a little. You can also see it in the background. Patches of blue sky, but the sun is already low on the horizon, so I'm not expecting a lot of sun anymore. Well, it's not sunset low yet, but it is lower already than during the middle of the day. Here's the A350-900 from Turkish, coming in from Istanbul. Airplane delivered last year in April, almost celebrating its first birthday. In my book, by far the prettiest Airbus of them all. And yes, Yannis, super close-ups. Normally I zoom out to show you the entire airplane as it passes by. Hey Rick, congratulations! They also have a sunbeam over there in Leeuwarden. Two reasons to celebrate for you today. The A350, magnificent machine, and this one brand spanking new still. Okay, so before the second and third queen of the stream, and the third queen is still a bit further out. Let me see, where is it? Is it over Denmark then? Suparna. Well, I don't know if it's officially Denmark or Germany, but it is at the moment coming towards the Netherlands, still a bit further out. We have, and there was an Embraer landing here. There are two more A320s, two more narrow bodies first coming this way before the second queen of the day will be arriving. First one is Austrian Airlines flight 373 coming in from Vienna, an A320-200, 23 years old, and behind it EasyJet flight 21835 coming in from Manchester, an A320-200 that is 10 years old. And number 3 is going to be Martinair Cargo flight 8322 coming in from Nairobi. It is a 747-400 airborne for 8 hours and 11 minutes at the moment, and the aircraft is, brace yourself, 32 years old, was delivered in May 1990. Nia, nice to have you around. Thanks for joining us. Take care, see you soon. Hopefully at the next one. And Stephen is informing us that there's another queen coming, so definitely don't go away, folks. Singapore cargo diverted to Amsterdam, south of Ireland at the moment. So even though we missed the Emirates A380 Super, it looks like we are going to see 3 more queens after the one that we saw already in the beginning. Austrian Airbus vacating the runway over here at the first exit. And in the meantime, I spy with my little eye a queen of the sky. So EasyJet A320 coming in from Manchester, about to touch down. I think I'm going to forgo it. Center on the queen that is now coming this way. Second one of the day, Martinair Cargo coming in from Nairobi. The oldest one we have, the oldest aircraft we have seen in the stream so far. 32 years old, delivered in May 1990. Gerard asks, where did the sound go? Are you guys experiencing sound issues at the moment? And Wendy informing us that that we have 200 likes for this stream. Yay! Awesome. It's always a bit of a gamble going out to stream during weekdays. Sometimes you get a big crowd, sometimes it's really quiet. Okay, sound is fine according to several people. So maybe, Gerard, it's just a local issue. Maybe try refreshing the page of YouTube then. Maybe that helps. That's all the IT knowledge that I have. I sure hope you guys heard that properly. Martinair cargo. Speed brakes lowered again, and soon the flaps will go up. Unfortunately, I cannot zoom in any further than I'm doing at the moment. With the wind blowing in this direction, you can still, at least I can still hear the engines of the 747. Hopefully you guys can pick it up as well on the stream. The little Schiphol aircraft in the foreground. Let me quickly turn around the camera. There's a top Air Portugal Airbus about to touch down, and sorry, not an Airbus, it's an Embraer. So top Air Portugal Embraer 190 coming in from Lisbon. This was a 14-year-old plane that landed just now, delivered in January 2009. Next up, 737 from KLM coming in from Copenhagen in Denmark. It's KLM flight 1130. It's a Boeing 737-700, the smallest of the bunch. The airplane, 13 years old, delivered in November 2009. And about to touch down after an hour-long flight. Kuni, if you're still around, thank you so much for joining us again. See you again at the next one, or otherwise very soon, undoubtedly. Take care. See you soon. And a nice wheelie landing. Now let's have a look at flight radar. The next plane to come this way is going to be China Eastern Airlines, flight 771. It's a Boeing 777-300ER coming in from Shanghai. A 7-year-old plane delivered in February 2016, and it is airborne now for 11 hours and 15 minutes.
Mooie installatie heb je.
Zeker, dank je.
Goed uit, man. Mag ik even kijken? Of,
Wat zeg je?
ben je het opnemen?
Ja, ik ben aan het livestreamen.
Kan ik praten?
Nou ja, ik ben wel aan het livestreamen. Ik heb een publiek dat meeluistert.
Oké. Het is helemaal...
Alles up and running. Zeker.
Het is altijd leuk, hè, vliegtuigen kijken.
Absoluut. So we're now waiting for the next plane. That is the 777-300ER coming in from Shanghai, China Eastern. Just about visible in the distance. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Camera has it easier to keep the focus now because of the contrast. Zeg je? AMS Live. AMS Live. Als je dat op YouTube invoert, dan kom je mijn streams meteen tegen. So this once again is a 7-year-old aircraft delivered in February 2016. Airborne now for 11 hours and 16 minutes. I'm also checking flight radar as we speak to see where the 747 that is supposedly diverting to Amsterdam is at the moment. Cannot yet see it. As you guys can see, things are opening up more and more. More patches of blue sky over here. Dat ben ik.
Oh ja, dat gaan we zo weer live.
Dit is van 3 dagen geleden. Oh. Dus dan zit je aan het begin. Dat is de countdown aan het begin van de stream. Oh echt? Wat leuk. Wat vlieg je? A330. Lufthansa, wat cool.
Ja, maar ik vind het leuker om af en toe even te kijken hoe die passen terug te komen. Als je die vliegt
Nee, dat zal wel. Ja, grappig. Ik ben ooit heel lang geleden bij de KLM Flight Academy tot aan de COVA gekomen. Toen moest ik nog even de medical doen, maar daar kom ik dus niet doorheen vanwege kleurenzicht. Dus dat was voor mij einde ambities.
Ja, zo zullen swingen.
Leuk man.
Ja.
Dus je komt gewoon eventjes hier wandelen, eventjes...
Ja, wat ik zeg, soms moet je even weer die passie terugkrijgen. Want eigenlijk is dit gaver.
Gaver dan wanneer je erin zit, ja.
Het is allemaal rush door.
Ja, en als de boel helemaal op autopilot staat en je bent aan het cruisen, dan is het ook...
De lange vluchten, dan zit je ook nog.
Oh, dat is wel best. Ja, op die 330 dan heb je inderdaad wat dat betreft minder actie dan als je short haul doet. So for those of you who aren't speaking Dutch, I have a passerby that started the conversation with me who is flying A330s for Lufthansa, who just happened to walk around and also wanted to see some live action over here. And he is off again. Meanwhile, the 777 has also landed, and let's see what's coming next. I think it's going to be an A320neo from ITA Airways. I also saw already that we have another 767 coming in from LATAM. So we now have to wait a little bit. Can I see the A320? I think I can. Let me see. There she is. So this is ITA Airways. Flight 110, an A320neo coming in from Rome after a 2-hour and 9-minute flight at the moment. Brand new plane, delivered in December last year, so only a few months old, in the beautiful blue livery from ITA Airways that we have seen before so many times already. Also coming in after this plane is an Airbus A319 from EasyJet flight 23014, coming in from London Stansted after a short 30-minute flight. That's a 15-year-old plane, delivered in February 2008. And at the moment, if I look over the Netherlands, it is still mostly short haul flights, narrow bodies. We have to wait a bit for bigger aircraft to come this way again after the Queen. But the third Queen is coming closer by, Suparna Airlines. It is now just it's almost crossing over to the Netherlands, over from Germany in the northeast province of Groningen, but it's still just a little bit ahead of it. Won't be long. In the meantime, we can warm up with a few narrow bodies, the first one of which is going to be the A320neo from ITA Air. My camera is was having a little difficulty. Hopefully the video and the sound are still okay. And Rick, congratulations on your weekend. Great many of us still have a day of working ahead of them. So here's the ITA Air Neo coming in from Rome. Beautiful. Now next up is going to be EasyJet flight 23014, an A319 coming in from London Stansted. The airplane, 15 years old, delivered in February 2008. So next up is going to be another EasyJet A320 coming in from London Luton. So we have 3 aircraft coming in, all coming in from London. The one we saw land just now, London Stansted. Next one coming in from London Luton, and the Embraer following it, now number 2, is going to come in from London City. Those of you who tuned in later, welcome to the stream, welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy, we are standing alongside runway 18 right, the Polderbaan. Has been in use for landings all day. At the moment it is the only runway in use for landings. 2 runways open again for departures, 24 and 18 left. We have seen runway 27 also open for arrivals earlier this afternoon, but at the moment this is the only runway in use for landings. It is opening up a little in terms of the cloud base. Visibility is good. We can see the airplanes far ahead in advance. Wind is blowing from the south. I think it has subsided a little since I began streaming a few hours ago. But there's still wind. You can see it in the background. The windmills are still spinning, although it's not blowing as violently anymore as it was last Monday when we had a full-blown storm. It was an official storm, by the way. Later that evening on the news I heard that we had 9 Beaufort for an hour in the north of North Holland, and apparently, I'm not a meteorologist, but apparently then it classifies as an official storm. So it was the first storm of the year we had. While I was streaming then, we had winds of 31 knots and gusts up to 50 knots. This is a minor breeze in comparison. Now we see 3 planes, 2 already on the glide slope with their landing lights on, the third one approaching from the right. The first plane to come in is an Embraer 190 from BA City Flyer coming in from London City. A short flight, almost 40 minutes. The airplane, 10 years old, delivered in July 2012. It will be followed by an EasyJet A320 that is coming in from Geneva, Switzerland. After an hour and 16 minutes of flight, the A320-200 is 5 years old, delivered in July 2017. And the third plane, now also on the glide slope with the lights on, is Norwegian 737 coming in from Oslo in the Georg Brandes livery. I probably mispronounced the name of that man, but that will be number 3 to land and is a 12-year-old airplane. That was K4, the bird controller vehicle, passing by just now. If we go back to the end of the runway, we are just in time to see the next airplane land from EasyJet. So next up is the Norwegian 737, and behind it is an Embraer 190 from KLM coming in from Montpellier in La Douce, France. Meanwhile, Suparna 747-400 coming in from Nanjing, also in Dutch airspace at the moment. The third queen of the day. Georg Brandes on the tail of this Norwegian 737, and apologies for probably mispronouncing the name of that man. So next up, KLM flight 1406, an Embraer 190 coming in from Montpellier, 1.5 hours of flight. The airplane, 5 years old, delivered in February 2018. Nice wheelie landing from this Embraer. Steve asked about the Tecnam flying over Zaandam. Let me see. Seems to be doing some mapping. And it is now flying over Amsterdam Central. So that should be somewhere over there. Now, I don't see anything yet. I think it is flying, let's see, 1600 feet. It's flying relatively low, it's relatively far away, so I think it's hard to see it. I'm looking visually as well, but I don't see the airplane anywhere at the moment. I think that's not going to be possible to show you guys that airplane. It's also a relatively small aircraft. Hadema probably says probably making air photos. Yeah, probably. If you look at the way it's flying up and down in nice strips, that's typically done for photography or analysis of the ground. Let me put back in the filter I have for inbound traffic to Schiphol. So the Suparna 747 is now flying over Lelystad. So it is getting closer by the minute. I'm definitely going to stick around for it to land. There's also 2 more planes approaching over along the coast of the North Sea. A Boeing 737 from Air Europa coming in from Madrid, and behind it is another A320neo from EasyJet coming in from Lanzarote. Those will precede the 747 that is also making its way over here. Now, let's see. There is interesting traffic coming this way, but it is still relatively far away. Checking to see if I can make out the 737 from Air Europa visually already, but I don't see it yet. Won't be long. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of sunshine coming in from behind the clouds. Only a little. The sun that they predicted to come out this afternoon let us down a little bit over here in the Amsterdam area. Now we should be able to see the Boeing 737-800 from Air Europa very soon. I don't see it just yet visually. Oh yeah, I think I have it. Now the question is, can I also display it on video? Let me also look at my laptop screen, which is a bit bigger. Yeah, there it is. There she is. Doesn't seem to be fully focused yet. Let me try again. That's better, I think. So this is your Air Europa flight 1093 coming in from Madrid. It's a Boeing 737-800, 4 years old, delivered in July 2018, and it is airborne now, or it has begun its flight, I should say, 1 hour and 54 minutes ago. It's going to be followed by an A320 Neo from EasyJet coming in from Lanzarote, which I don't yet see, but should become visible quickly. And the Neo over to the left, also visible, although out of focus at the moment. Camera always has difficulty focusing on subjects that aren't in the center. But if I zoom out a little, you can just about make it out. Meanwhile, the 747 from Suparna is also coming closer and closer by. Will be approaching from the right for us. Maybe I need to do that more quickly. Still not entirely in focus. and the Queen below it coming in from the right. Can I focus in on that? I think I can. Now I'm going to forgo the A320neo that is almost touching down in front of us. So I think that this is a more interesting airplane to follow. Queen number 3. Suparna Airlines Flight 87413 coming in from Nanjing. Underway now for 10 hours and 56 minutes. This Boeing 747-400 will be touching down in a few minutes. Not as old as the other one, but coming close. This one 31 years old, not 32 but 31 years old, and delivered in August 1991. And the other 747, the second one, a year older. August 1991. The world was quite different then than it is now. A lot has happened in the meantime. Now folks, if you're liking what you're seeing, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. It allows you to turn on notifications so that whenever I go live, you receive a heads up and can join us. It also helps me to reach more people like you and me who are also into content like this. Here we see the third queen of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Suparna Airlines. Still, you can beautifully see the flaps shudder, vibrating as it slows down. Zampon from Poland, good day sir or ma'am. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to AMS Live. Jonah and Steve, was great having you on the stream. See you at the next one. Take care. I'm just checking flight radar to see what's coming next. For now, it's mostly narrow bodies. Yorkshire Biker, always a pleasure to have you around. Thanks for joining us again and hope to see you soon. Take care. Now, looking at flight radar, I think I am also going to call it a day. I think I'm going to capture this last plane, KLM flight 1020, the Embraer 190 coming in from London Heathrow. But that is going to be the last plane for me for today, unfortunately. I am looking to go back live again tomorrow, weather permitting. When I get home later, I will have a look and see what kind of weather it's going to be, what the winds are going to be. We're nicely keeping up the stream, keeping up the speed, I should say. For now, I'm going to call it a day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope to see you all again at another one. For now, take care and see you guys soon. Bye bye.